When the story needs a villain, it often picks the wrong one. You've seen it happen. Someone begins seeking truth. They start with healthy skepticism, asking real questions. But somewhere along the way, curiosity turns into obsession. The world becomes a web of evil plots, and suddenly everyone on the other side becomes the enemy. That's when truth-seeking stops being liberating and starts becoming a trap. Every movement toward light casts a shadow. And in the search for truth, that shadow often takes the form of scapegoating, blaming an other for all the world's pain. It's one of humanity's oldest reflexes. When people feel powerless or afraid, they look for a target to project their fear onto. A face, a group, a name. The story becomes simpler. We are good, they are evil. And that's when conspiracy becomes mythology. Not a map of truth, but a mirror of fear. If you look back through history, you'll see this pattern repeated endlessly. From witch hunts to political purges, from religious crusades to online cancel culture, every age has found its scapegoats. The irony is that the witch burners, the inquisitors, the truth warriors of each era believed they were serving righteousness. They believed they had finally unmasked the source of evil. But what they were really seeing was their own unintegrated shadow, the parts of themselves they could not bear to face. That's what the dark turn of conspiracy really is. It's when the search for external truth becomes an avoidance of inner truth. When the desire to expose the corrupt becomes a refusal to confront our own corruption, our own small lies, our own addiction to being right. The real danger isn't that conspiracies are false. Sometimes they're true. The danger is what happens to us when we build identity around them. When truth-seeking becomes identity-seeking, we begin to need enemies. We start to crave conflict because it makes us feel purposeful. Our nervous systems feed on outrage, and the algorithms happily serve us more of it. We feel awake, but we're still asleep, just in a louder dream. So how do you seek truth without sliding into hate or fantasy? It begins with responsible inquiry, a kind of spiritual hygiene for the mind. Real inquiry starts with humility, not certainty. It asks, what would it take for me to be wrong? It resists the dopamine rush of outrage and embraces the slower work of verification. When you encounter a claim, especially one that triggers emotion, pause. Ask, what is the evidence? Can it be falsified? Have I seen primary sources, or am I repeating a feeling dressed as fact? Another key is what philosophers call steel manning, presenting the strongest possible version of the argument you disagree with before refuting it. This isn't weakness, it's strength. It keeps your mind flexible, your empathy alive. It reminds you that your opponents are also human beings with reasons for what they believe. The moment you stop doing this, your inquiry has turned into ideology. But even these mental tools are not enough on their own. Because conspiracy thinking is not just intellectual, it's emotional, even spiritual. The real fuel behind it is shadow projection. Jung called the shadow the thing we do not wish to be. When we repress that inner darkness, our greed, jealousy, insecurity, fear, it doesn't disappear. It looks for someone to attach to. It paints those qualities onto others so that we can feel pure again. That's why every spiritual tradition, in its own language, warns about judgment. Not because discernment is wrong, but because judgment without self-reflection turns into projection. You can't clean the world with dirty hands. So before you point to corruption out there, check for corruption in here. Ask yourself, what does this trigger in me? What part of me feels mirrored in the villain I'm seeing? If you can face that honestly, you start to reclaim your power. The shadow stops owning you. Spiritual hygiene means taking care of your psychic boundaries as diligently as you wash your physical body. If you spend hours consuming rage, fear, and suspicion, you will absorb it. You'll start to see it everywhere. Cleansing doesn't mean avoiding darkness. It means digesting it consciously. Spend time in silence. Journal the emotions that surface. Move your body, touch nature. These acts reconnect your perception to something real, not simulated, because the internet, as powerful as it is, distorts scale. It makes small things look huge and huge things invisible. A rumor shared by a stranger can feel more urgent than a friend sitting next to you. Spiritual hygiene is remembering the difference. To keep this practical, think of it as a checklist for truth discernment. Red flags and green flags. These are red flags. The claim flatters your worldview instead of challenging it. It provokes immediate outrage without offering verifiable evidence. The source benefits from your fear, clicks, or loyalty. It demonizes entire groups rather than analyzing systems or behavior. It insists everything you've been told is a lie. These are green flags. The claim cites verifiable data and invites cross-checking. It welcomes debate and doesn't punish doubt. It distinguishes between individuals and systems. It acknowledges complexity rather than offering total certainty. It leaves you feeling informed, not inflamed. This isn't just a checklist for the internet. It's a mirror for your consciousness. The more you align with truth, the less you need the emotional high of conflict. And paradoxically, the cleaner your perception becomes, the more real corruption you'll actually see, because you'll be looking through clarity, not projection. So here's your invitation. Take the checklist and test it on a viral claim this week. Don't start by asking if it's true. Start by asking what it does to you. Does it contract or expand your awareness? Does it make you curious or certain? Does it make you love humanity more or less? Truth doesn't divide, it refines. To stay sovereign in a world of shadows, you have to integrate your own. That means no longer needing a perfect enemy to feel pure. It means recognizing that both the Illuminati and the individual mind work through the same dynamics: power, projection, and self-deception. The more you master your inner conspiracy, the less the outer ones can control you. The path to clarity is not about choosing sides. It's about becoming so honest, so grounded, that deceit can't find purchase in you. Then the world's noise stops being hypnotic. You stop reacting and start discerning. You stop hunting villains and start seeing systems. You stop needing to be right and start wanting to be whole. That is what it means to stay clean, not untouched by darkness, but unpossessed by it.